We're here today with Coach Bryan Hearn from Virginia Wesleyan. Bryan, national championship.
National champion.
Now, so you got an individual national championship for Virginia Wesleyan. The players who?
Evan Cox, Ashland, Kentucky.
Come on. So you go. When was the national championship?
Last week, Tuesday through Friday.
Okay. And how many days of competition did it take for him to win this national championship?
It's 4 days of competition. First two, they start out with 41 teams, plus 5 individuals that were selected by a committee. Evan was one of those. And then after 2 days, they cut it down to 15 teams plus the next 6 individuals.
Okay.
And so after 2 days, Evan was in the top 5, and he made the cut.
Okay, I want to get more details about that. But prior to that, I also want to mention that this show is brought to you by K&D Rounds, Universal Pest, and Davenport & Company out of Norfolk, along with College Athletics Consultants. So for him to get selected, he was one of 5 individuals, right? Because he was about 18 in the country.
Correct.
So it wasn't a slam dunk for him to get selected, right? I mean, did you think it was guaranteed or it was borderline?
At first I thought it was borderline, but then looking back at all of his accomplishments over the year, he had already had 2 wins. 7 of the 8 tournaments we played were he was top 5, and then he was our conference champion and our conference player of the year. So his resume was pretty solid. And after talking to some of the guys on the committee, they said it was not a hard choice to pick Evan.
Yeah, okay, well, great. Now, what is it? You fly. Where was the tournament held again?
Rochester, New York. We played Minden Golf Course and Country Club, and then Midvale Country Club.
And how many total players are in this tournament? You mentioned that again. I'm a little slow, but you mentioned teams. Like it's 41 teams. So how many total players?
Total players 210 from all over the country.
So 210 of the best Division III golfers, and you got the winner.
And I got the winner.
Well, I mean that's really cool. And Bryan, I remember listening to you at Virginia Wesleyan talk about golf and inspiring and so forth, and it wasn't a goal that you were talking about, because a goal would have been, goals are realistic. You were talking about dreams,
right?
I mean, and most of us sat there when we heard you talking about it and said, there's no way, this guy's a dreamer. I mean, but it is pretty cool when a dream comes true.
Absolutely.
Now,
I told you I was a visionary, not a dreamer.
Well, visionary, yeah. Sorry. So, so you win the national championship and so forth, and he has to win in a playoff.
Yeah, bogeyed his last hole to go into a playoff. He could have just finished it after 108 holes.
Oh, okay. So he bogeyed. Was it a bad bogey, I guess, or is there such thing? Or was it a Tiger Woods? He saved a double bogey.
No, it was a bad bogey. He missed his tee shot and had to get up and down from some pretty tall rough.
Okay.
So good and bad.
Now, how did the playoff go?
Oh, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Well, first of all, we knew he was tied with Addison Lambert of Huntington, who was the number 4 player in the nation. And so we were waiting for the last 5 groups to finish, which consisted of the team champion, Claremont Mudscripts. Their freshman, Alex Wren, was coming in, and he birdied his last 3 holes to get into the playoff. So where we thought it was just going to be a 2-man playoff, this Wren kid comes in, sneaks in, and now we're 3 ways. So the committee doesn't tell us what hole we're going to play off on until the very end, and we ended up going to hole number 8, which was a dogleg left par 5, about 540 yards. And that Evan had played that hole fantastic all week. So getting in there, he bombs a drive 320 yards, 50 yards past the other 2 guys. He walks up to me and he looks at me and goes, "Coach, I'm going for it." And I said, "Was there any doubt? Let's go." So he takes a 6-iron from 220 yards out, up and over a tree. We can't clearly see the pin. We can only see the right side of the green. He fires it towards the right side of the green with a little draw on it.
All right.
I take off in a dead sprint. He goes the opposite direction, looking around the tree, and we just know it's pretty. It's going to be perfect.
Right.
Ball hits a foot in front of the cup, rolls out to about 4 feet. So now he's got a 4-foot putt for eagle. Meanwhile, the other two guys lay up and they hit their third shots up. One of them hits the green, the other one misses.
Right.
Guy chips up, makes bogey. The guy that's putting for birdie misses his putt for par. So now Evan has a 2-putt birdie to win the whole thing.
A 2-putt, 4-foot putt.
Yeah, he should have made it.
Okay, did he 2-putt?
He 2-putted. He 2-putted from 4 feet. He should have made it. But he was so nervous. He was shaking like a leaf, and he knew what was on the line.
Now, how about you? Was your rear end kind of tight here, palms sweaty and everything?
No, actually, it wasn't. Surprisingly, I just had a big smile on my face because I knew he was gonna make it.
So him going for the shot, this was some tin cup stuff. This would make Kevin Costner proud.
It would make him proud, yes. But as far as tin cups, though, tin cup hit in the water a couple of times. Evan didn't do that.
Yeah, well, I think in tin cup he might have had one good hole.
Right. The end result was fantastic. The crowd went nuts when the ball hit. It was a blast.
Well, I mean that is because I know how tough it is to. I mean, how many golf programs are there in Division III? I mean, a couple.
270 at least.
Yeah, there's 270 at least, but I think there's, probably well over 300, I guess.
Oh, absolutely.
So to become the best golfer, to win a national championship, and it's the second national championship for Virginia Wesleyan. Men's basketball has won a national championship, so that's just going to be really cool and a lot of good swagger. And I see athletic director met you at the airport.
Yeah, Joanne Wren, and also our associate Andrea Hoover.
Now, did they come with things like cash or anything like that?
No.
There's no cash?
No cash.
No cash exchange?
Their smiles, cheers, and whistles were all.
I would have been there with at least a $100 bill. So, hey, I want you to remember this moment. I want you to remember this moment. Now, but Evan, as a freshman, this has been hard to predict. Because we have no tradition. You were making tradition at Virginia Wesleyan, not following it.
Correct.
Okay. And so, were there ever signs looking back that you think because to win a national championship, you got to be fortunate, you got to execute at the right time. He could have easily finished. They could have won him last hole, but he could have,
he could have not made the cut. He could have.
Yeah.
What's funny is he and I were looking back when we were flying back from Rochester.
And I saw you had a hot dog at the airport.
Had a hot dog at the airport. But he and I were talking, and I looked at him. I said, you won your first 2 tournaments of the season, and you won your last 2 tournaments of the season. What happened in between?
Yeah, what happened in between? I bet academics got in the way. I hate when academics get in the way.
But hey, academics, he's a smart kid, so that was never a problem. I was proud of him, though, that he even while we were at the NCAAs, he was finishing up his final papers. So he's a great student, great kid. Couldn't have happened to a better person.
Yeah, and it's the thing that I really appreciate is when you see a school and a coach make tradition as opposed to follow tradition. So now for Virginia Wesleyan, makes it. I'm not saying it makes it. Recruiting's never easy, right. But at least you can. Yeah, we got something done here.
Absolutely.
I see this happen in countries sometimes. Sometimes the country, maybe whether it be a tennis player or golfer or something like that, or a famous Olympian athlete, they raise the bar. Now the whole country kind of believes.
Right.
And I think at Virginia Wesleyan, not only in golf, but you have these other coaches who I'm sure they hate you now. I'm sure they oh man.
Well, if you.
Now but you kind of, hey, it can be done.
Yeah.
It can be done.
Well, the great thing about Evan, and we were talking about this while we were up there, is, he looked at me and said, Coach, there's no reason why the team can't be here. He never really thought about himself the whole time. He was playing for the guys back home, and they were all watching on GolfStat and following and checking out the live videos, and texting me, and so to see those guys are the reason he was successful.
Right.
And so, them pushing him and him lifting them up and pushing them, it's special to see what we've created at Virginia Wesleyan and where we're going with it.
Yeah, for sure. The tradition that or the value added, I should say, to all those guys who played on the team with him puts a little swagger in their step.
Absolutely.
And now, what about you personally? Okay, you win the national championship. Do you go to work early the next day? I've been there early the next day. People take you to lunch, donuts, any kind of thing.
I got to be honest, I slept in. I slept in a little bit.
Well, look, you see this shirt? You gave me this shirt like a year ago.
Right.
So I was following you guys on Facebook, and I said, okay, made the cut. Well, I guess that's a good thing.
Right.
But I didn't know he made the tournament, so that's good. He's in the tournament, made the cut. For the second day, I remember seeing something. Well, he's kind of tied for the lead. I was thinking, well, how many days is this thing going for? And then, the next day, okay, he's, he kind of around the leader or something like that. And then all of a sudden this Facebook thing comes up. Hey, he's the national champion. So I get out my shirt. So I've been wearing this shirt ever since. And a couple of people said, hey, are you that golf coach at the Virginia Wesleyan? I said, yes, I am. Yeah, I'm the guy. Yeah, me and Hearn, we were like this, man. Yeah. Hearn and I, we did it together. This shirt. So this shirt, my whole wardrobe has new value now. This got moved to the front now. So I'm wearing this for a couple of weeks now. So no, I watched it this morning for you. So what other kind of interesting things happened? During the tournament, any other key moments, great meals or anything like that?
Yeah, well, obviously the NCAA does a great job of putting on a banquet. The first night we're there, they gave us great fillets with some chicken, nice little dessert. And the kids are just wined and dined really well. Well, not wined, but they dined really well.
You had some more.
They roll out the red carpet.
Did you have like sorbet to freshen your palate? I know it's kind of a golf thing.
No, they didn't have any sorbet. I was a little disappointed.
Or what's even worse is the sorbet comes and it's in the middle of the meal, and you think that's the shortest meal, and you're still hungry, and then you realize they keep bringing some more stuff.
Right.
So okay, let's see. Any other interesting things that happened there? You had great food.
I realized if I ever have a problem being a golf coach. After dealing with Evan for 6 days, I would be a great therapist. As a coach, you get the mood swings and everything, but Evan played all together for the 6 days straight, 109 golf holes. So on day 3 and day 4, he's physically exhausted, he's mentally exhausted, and so when something happens like a double bogey after you got a 3-shot lead,
Wait. Okay, you've explained this to me before, but I like to get it in different shapes, forms.
Okay.
What's 109 holes? How many days?
6 rounds. That's 6 rounds of golf plus one hole.
6 rounds of golf. So that's 6
days.
4-hour gigs.
Yes.
It takes 4 hours.
About 4.5 to 5.
So that's 6, 4.5. Let's call it 5. So 6 times 5. That's 30 hours of golf.
Yeah.
Plus
1 extra hole, which I'd say 30 minutes.
And how many days is this thing going?
6 days.
Don't you think we could have a shootout or
No, that's no fun.
6 days.
But Division I and Division II are different. Right now Division I is all these teams qualified for regionals.
Right.
So their NCAA tournament is going into a regional, and where the top 3 teams from each region will now go and play in a stroke play event in Eugene, and then they'll take the top 4, I believe, and they'll go into a match play event. So it becomes a long process for them. But you bring in more teams and you have more. Division III is different. It's just straight stroke play.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Now, what I find is ironic is from the media standpoint, you hear complaints about these other sports taking too long for the national championships, or hey, football's going to go on for another week if they expand to 8 teams. If they only knew what golf and tennis. The tennis national championships is 13 days, and then you're talking 6 days, a week.
Right.
You're talking a week.
Yeah.
In Division I, it's more.
Right.
So the kids miss a little class. Did Evan do okay? Because you had to leave before class was over, right?
Actually, the professors at Virginia Wesleyan are great. They worked with Evan and letting him take his exams and turn in papers early. And he got all of it done before he left. He had 1 paper to write while we were gone.
Okay, so that worked out pretty good. Now, also, I want you to know this, Bryan. Normally, we have Jack Ankerson here, and we only have water. For you, we brought the high-end Berry Blast stuff because we knew you were kind of a country club guy. So in case you get thirsty during the show, we got this Berry Blast stuff and no sugar added. But it's no sugar added. It still has 160 calories. So I really figured they are not a sponsor, but they could be if they could very well be here in the near future. Okay, so I just many people in the area just were really excited about this, that any one of the schools in Hampton Roads win a national championship. I still think people are in shock that you did this thing. I mean,
I'm in shock.
I like the pictures with you and Evan fist pumping and stuff like that. Now, if I don't think you took the right pictures of it. I see one with you and Evan with that championship trophy. Did you do any solo shots with the trophy?
I did not. No, because it's not about me. It's about Evan. It's about the kids.
Okay, look, that's a nice thing, but it's about you. Come on.
No.
Now,
anybody who knows me knows it's about my kids.
But couldn't you take in the trophy like NHL? Do you take the trophy and you put it like as a hood ornament? Do you get to keep it for a week? Does Evan keep it for a week, or you drive around like NHL, like the Stanley Cup?
It went home with Evan's parents.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
we're gonna get one for the school. We're gonna order a duplicate.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be bolted to my desk probably.
I used to be in charge of the trophy case.
I do. I remember.
I used Joey.
It's got good lighting in there.
Good lighting. Joey gave me some Windex. We cleaned that baby up. So, and now, is there any new shirts coming our way? Anything?
Maybe.
Hey, I saw something on Facebook though. Top Golf.
Top Golf, yeah.
Did they do something for Evan or no?
No.
Oh, they didn't.
No.
Oh, I thought Top Golf was.
No, I just went.
Oh, you just went.
Yeah. I went on a date.
Okay, well, we'll get more details about that. Now, here at the Sports Philosophy Show, the golf, that was fantastic. But we also talk about a few other things too, like what's happening in sports. Now, did you pay attention in the sports world while you're there? Like basketball, are you familiar with there's an NBA championship going on?
Is there?
Yeah, NBA championship. We got the Warriors against the Thunder, and we got the Raptors from Canada, that is.
Yeah.
We got a Canadian team in there against Cleveland.
I'm a huge Kentucky Wildcats fan, so I know that Patrick Patterson's in the playoffs with the Toronto Raptors.
Well, Kentucky is, that's a pro team. They didn't make the NBA playoffs this year.
No, they're actually very active in the NBA D
League. Those guys are pretty freaking good, that's for sure. And so anyway, we follow sports and what's going on. And now, is there anything that rubs you? We talk about what's going on. And a lot of what's going on is certainly the national championship, and we got Old Dominion baseball who's competing well in their conference tournament. Again, we got NBA championships. We got what about a tennis guy? I saw a lot of cool things on your Facebook. I see you wearing a Virginia Wesleyan tennis sweatshirt. So you're a tennis guy. So what about the French Open? I mean, the French Open is coming up. Andy Murray just beat Djokovic to win Rome.
Okay.
So, do you got any feelings there? Do you think Rafa's going to win? Or Federer? Do you know anything about this?
I know nothing about it. I have been in a golf.
Do you think Tiger Woods will be playing the French Open this year?
No.
Okay, so
Tiger's hurt. He's not playing anything.
He's not hurt. He's got millions of dollars. He's not hurt.
He's not hurt.
My idea hurt and your idea hurt's not the same as Tiger Woods' idea hurt.
Physically, he's not feeling well.
Okay, so we got those events kind of going on. And now, is there anything that rubs you the wrong way in sports? This is just a philosophical. See, this is called the Sports Philosophy Show.
Right.
Now, is there anything that rubs you the wrong way in sports?
That's a loaded question.
Oh, I'll start off with mine.
Yeah, go for it.
And then you follow. Okay, in baseball, and this happened in hockey. In baseball, there was a fight.
Yeah.
Did you see the fight? You did see
I did see the fight.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a legitimate a closed fist hit.
Right.
So what kind of rubs me the wrong way is if they were outside the stadium, you'd be arrested and put in handcuffs.
Correct.
So I think they ought to have a policeman there because that was a physical assault.
Right.
Regardless of the situation. I mean, it's not a boxing match. So as a physical assault, I think it would add value to the TV if they have a policeman and you actually arrest the guy right in front of everybody.
Right.
It certainly put an end to it.
Well, if that's the case, you got to do the same thing in hockey.
No, I'm saying hockey. I mean, because it's kind of hypocritical. They're punching each other in the face, holding the jersey. But if you go outside the stadium or inside of a bar, they're hitting each other in the NFL. But now if they go in a bar and they punches another guy, you get suspended.
True. You
get suspended. But if you do it on the field, well, you do get suspended, but it's not the same effect. That's for sure. But anyway, it just seems to be very hypocritical. So do you got something that rubs you the wrong way with golf? I mean, Like golf, you tied to this Tiger Woods thing. Would you like for what's the guy's name? Spieth. Oh, I call him Under Armour.
Jordan Spieth.
I call him Under Armour.
You know,
you think he's getting enough attention, enough credit?
Oh, I think Jordan gets plenty of credit. I think the media tends to hound a player too much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jordan had a record year last year, winning 2 majors, and almost, you know, was in contention of the other 2. But having that record year, they expect so much of him. They expect him to be the next Tiger Woods. And, you know, when you start pulling the guy away from practice and his routine to do all these interviews and everything, yeah, he's got to manage it. But, you know, let the guy go to work.
Right.
Let the guy do his job.
Yeah, it's funny how that works is Michael Jordan became the brand without ever trying to be a brand.
Correct.
He just focused on basketball.
Right.
I mean, the stories you hear is
the team breakfast.
The team breakfast, exactly. Yeah. Team breakfast, and it wasn't like when you and I have a team breakfast. It's about breakfast.
Right.
I don't know if there was food served at his team breakfast. I mean, because they're working out.
Yeah, I mean they're
working out at home,
playing basketball, practicing, working out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but now you hear LeBron talk about being the brand. You know, it's got to be. He'll even mention the words himself sometimes. So Tiger becomes the brand. I don't think Tiger was trying to become. I mean, of course he's aware of what's going on, but he became the brand by what he produced on the golf course. Now these rest of them, and I think the media kind of put you in that direction where they're trying to make you into being something that you haven't become yet.
Exactly.
So when you go to be the next Tiger Woods, well, if you're going to be the next Tiger Woods, well, Tiger Woods is the brand.
Right.
Because if I want to be like wearing my shirt, if I'm going to be the next Bryan Hearn, well, Bryan Hearn's the brand.
Right.
You know, so.
Yeah, Tiger falls in the same category with Jordan.
Now, I do need to give you a Jack update. So Jack Ankerson is normally here, and Jack is on assignment. He's in Lambeau Field right now. He sends me a text. So I don't know. I've never done this before, but there you go. So he said Jack sent a text. Jack's on assignment, Lambeau Field. That's his wife. And look, this is Jack in front of the Vince Lombardi trophy. So this is where Jack is today. So Jack's having a midlife crisis. He's 74.
He should go to Soldier Field instead. He should go swing over to Chicago. Look, I'm a Bears fan.
But the guy, you know, he's a stockholder. I mean, Jack has money. He's a stockholder in the Green Bay Packers. So, oh my God, look at this. How about this? Named after my grandparents. This is pretty cool. Ankerson Road.
I bet it was named after Jack.
Yeah, Ankerson Road. How funny is that? Ankerson Road. So Jack's on assignment. Since we went to YouTube Live, our budget has skyrocketed for these kinds of things. Now here's Jack and Ellie on Lambeau Field. How do you get on Lambeau Field? You know, that must be a freaking.
He's kind of a big deal. That's stockholder
thing.
Stockholder perk.
Look, the home of the Packers administration and football staff. So Jack's having the time of his life going through the, what do you call that, Midwest?
Yeah.
It's not the West Coast, that's for sure. So he's going through there, heading to Wisconsin, or he's in Wisconsin now, but he's got a bunch of Lambeau Field, and here he's teaching Reggie White the proper 3-point stance. So he's in the Hall of Fame, which that's in Canton.
Canton, yeah.
So that's kind of in Canton. And then, and just because you want to see the picture, there's Hearn, and look at Hearn right there. How beautiful that. He's got that trophy. I can't believe he let that trophy get away. How'd that happen?
Well, you know, the kid earned it.
I'm not saying he didn't earn it, but you can send it to him later. Tell him. But anyway. Okay, what else rubbed you wrong? Anything else rubbing you the wrong way in sports? Golf not getting enough attention?
No, golf's not getting enough attention. Well, the Players' Championship just finished up. They had a tough day, the third day. The course was basically unplayable.
Mm-hmm.
Greens firm and fast, and again, the pros weren't liking it.
I saw that.
Sergio 6-putted.
Yeah, I saw that thing. The hole that's with the water.
Yeah, 17.
So you're trying to land a golf ball on ice.
Pretty much.
Then it just slides off. So you're 2 inches from the hole, and then it slides off, and you just gotta tin cup that thing up again.
Yep.
Now, Brian, we do have some questions that came in. I mean, in addition to Jackson and a bunch of stuff, here's a couple of questions. Okay, Division III golf at Old Dominion. I mean at Old Dominion.
No,
Virginia West. I was just testing you. Good test.
I do know Murray really well, though. He's a great guy.
The guy's a hell 85, 90.
79.
He's getting, he's full-time coaching. I'm sure. I bet you he's getting Social Security.
Guarantee you.
Okay, so at Virginia Wesleyan, what's the equipment like? What kind of equipment do you furnish the guys on your team? I know it's limited budgets and stuff like that, or what are they? You had some really fancy uniforms this year. You had some good stuff.
Well, yeah, we kind of partnered up with Oakley, and they gave us a pretty good deal on some gear, on shirts and glasses. My guys have to do a lot of fundraising, and so I reward them in that, making sure that they look good. I'm a big believer. If you look good, you feel good, you play good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Now, what about the fundraising? What are some of the activities that they did for fundraising? Or what are some of the?
Well, we do concessions for multiple sports at the school. We sell raffle tickets for free gas for a year, and we do those. We send those letters out.
Send the letters out. Now, when you send the letters out, do they help you send them out? They're stuffing.
Yeah, they'll stuff them, sign them, write a little note to who we're sending them to.
So when they come to play golf for you, they're learning a variety of skills.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're learning how to hustle, fundraise, show appreciation, be involved in the community.
Yep.
So it's not just golfing; it's not just academics.
No, it's life lessons.
Now, what's a Division III golf schedule? When is the season?
Fall and spring. We play 5 tournaments in the fall, 5 tournaments in the spring. We're gone a lot.
Is the conference tournament in NCAA part of that, or would that be number 11 and 12?
Well, I factor the conference tournament in the 5 in the spring. The national tournament is an added bonus, so it could be number 11. But yeah, we get going right away. I mean, as soon as they get here, about 2 weeks before our first tournament, we're hitting the links and practicing, and the guys are putting in work and getting used to the college life. It's really tough for the freshmen because I throw them to the fire right away. There's no warm-up period. In qualifying, they've got to be on their game as soon as they get here.
Right. Now, how many guys do you have on the team?
Let's see. I got 3 coming in, so we'll have 10.
10 guys on the team. And in a tournament, how does that work? Do they all get to go, or?
No, you take 5 guys, and you only count 4 scores for those 5.
So to make the travel team, that's a big deal.
It is. It is.
So if you're the number 2 golfer or 1 golfer, I mean, that's not as much pressure. But if you're that 5 guy, your job's always on the line a little bit.
You got to battle. Every coach has a different way to do qualifying.
When you say qualifying, this is within your team determining the lineup, the pecking order.
Exactly. So what I do, you've been, I always had a big scoreboard.
I remember the big scoreboard.
Big scoreboard took up the whole wall. Well, I do qualifying rounds. And so each player, we play almost like mini tournaments.
Right.
And so for the first tournament, we might have 4 qualifying rounds. Well, the top 5 guys with the lowest scores qualify for that tournament. When we come back, we'll play 2 or 3 more qualifying rounds. And instead of just doing those 3 qualifying rounds for the next tournament, we add those to the previous 4. So now there's 7 rounds total.
Right.
So that top 5, they have to be consistently good to be in the top 5. So if that 4 or 5 guy starts to slip and the 6 and 7 guys playing better, they can overcome that spot. And so it prevents one guy from just getting hot one day and beating the guy out.
So it's a body of work.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of like the world rankings of golf. I hear they're like every 2 years. I mean, it's 2 years of tournaments. It's not
Absolutely.
Now, in these individual tournaments that made up this body of work, did Evan, did he always win these, or?
I'll say that after 12 rounds of he only, hey, you know what he did? He lost the first one. He was the number 2 guy going into the first tournament, which he shot 64 and was 8 under and set a tournament record at the Tom Kinder. But after that, he never relinquish his #1 spot the rest of the year.
So this kind of competitiveness, you're not just out there playing 18 holes for practice for the love of the game. I mean, you actually feel your scores being kept and calibrated within your 10 guys to determine a pecking order. So
yeah.
And then so I guess as the season gets going along pretty deep, it's pretty hard to have movement.
It is, but you know what's funny is with my top 7 or my top 6 guys, take Evan out of the picture because he had a 30-shot lead on everybody.
Okay.
But from 2 to 6, there was only a 3-shot fluctuation. So it was a constant battle from the beginning of the semester to the end. And I'll reset it after the fall. So like, once we go through the fall, I'll reset the board. Everybody starts fresh going into the spring. But that way everybody knows they have to practice in the off season on their own and be ready to go.
Now, when you say the spring, spring around here doesn't begin.
Spring hadn't started yet.
So are you talking about spring like February 1st? You're out there playing some golf?
Mid-February. Depends on when our first tournament is.
Okay, because
we're limited on the
it doesn't get warm until it's supposed to be, March, but it might be June 1st.
Yeah.
This particular year. So you guys got to play in some. What's the conditions that you don't go out there and play?
Lightning is the only.
Lightning, or if they canceled school, like if the snowstorm.
Even then, they'd be out there. I mean, if the way I've realized over the last 4 years with the NCAA and with college golf is we play in everything, unless there's lightning, because you're holding up a lightning rod, you're out there. Our conference championship last year was a monsoon, and we still went out and played it. It was insane.
So it looked like Rodney Dangerfield, and
pretty much
the ball wouldn't go. The ball wouldn't go on the putting green. So now, when you go to these college tournaments in the fall and in the spring, are they Saturday, Sunday events, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or how's that work?
It varies. It depends on the tournament host, the golf course that we're playing, if they'll allow us to play on the weekends. For example, Bridgewater's Tom Kenner Memorial, they last year did a Saturday, Sunday because the course, allowed it.
It's hard to get a course on Saturday. Huh?
It is. That's a moneymaker for them.
Yeah.
But most of the tournaments we'll play are Sunday, Monday, or Monday, Tuesday.
So Sunday, is that more like Sunday afternoon or
Yeah. We'll shotgun out at 12 o'clock. That way they get their member play in early in the morning.
Now, just to recap this, the national championship and so forth. When Evan won this, was his parents there?
Yep. His mom and dad, they couldn't make it for the whole thing because some people have to work. We can't all just play golf all the time. But no, his parents, they made the drive from Kentucky and came up Thursday evening. We all went out to dinner and had a good time. And then Friday morning they were there to follow us the whole way.
Oh, so they
got to see the whole final round and the playoffs, and it was fantastic.
So there was a lot of hugging and jumping and going on.
No, his dad was fantastic. His dad's one of the most animated people I've seen.
Is your dad a golfer? I guess everybody's a golfer.
Yeah.
So there's frustrated golfers and real golfers, but
nothing beats seeing parents and how much pride they have in their kid and how much love and support there is, and just some of the shots that Evan hit and their faces, both his mom and his dad would just light up. I mean, it's cool. It's cool to see, and they're great people, very supportive of the program and supportive of the team. It's fantastic.
What's the best part about Evan's game? Drive it far, a good putter, or
well, he missed a 4-footer for Eagle, so he's not the best putter.
Now wait. When he missed the 4-footer for Eagle, do you get to talk to him right before that?
I do.
So did you tell him, hey, lay up?
I kind of, I was like, it's okay if you miss it, just lag it up there.
No, wait, Dad. I'm just, what does lag it up mean? Nudge it, but don't go past it?
Exactly. Just get it around the hole, not knock it by 2 feet like he did.
Did he knock it out?
Yeah, he knocked it by the whole 2 feet. He was trying to make it. But the adrenaline pumping and he was shaking.
So he tries to knock it 2 feet. Now, so 2-foot putt.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be nervous and you should still make that.
You should, but Ernie Els at the Masters missed like 4 of them.
So, well, that's different. That's $1 million of prize money.
fair enough. This felt like $1 million to us.
Yeah.
But no, his best game, or best part of his game is, in the swing aspect of it, he drives the ball. His distance is phenomenal. I mean, the kid's he hit a 6-iron 220 yards. Now, to give you an idea, I hit my 6-iron 170 yards.
Do you not have a good 6-iron?
I got a great 6-iron.
It's got to be the equipment.
No, it's the guns. Like he works out all the time. I mean, he puts in a lot of work. But his poise and his attitude on the golf course is every coach's dream. Even when, we were on the last day going right after hole 10, he birdied 10, and he had a 3-shot lead. And he didn't know where he stood until we were on 10, and one of the spotters sees that he's from Virginia Wesleyan. He goes, "Oh, you're leading." And he's like, "Don't tell me that." And he comes over and tells me, and I'm like, "Oh man," I said, "Well, you're not leading by much." I put it like that. Yeah. And I tried to downplay it. Yeah. But kids, they're gonna think about that stuff. And so if he has,
forget kids, anybody.
Yeah. So we're on 11, and he double bogeys 11. He just a stupid hole.
Was the double bogey right after he got in the news?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I'm ready to go back and have a few words with the lady, but instead I look at Evan and I'm like, "Hey, you're okay. You're in good shape." And he looks at me and goes, "I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about this. I just don't want to talk at all." So as a coach, you got to know when to come in and step in and step out. And so I said, "You know what? I believe in this kid. So Evan, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go over here for a little while. I'll see you in the hole."
Wait. When you say you go over here, do you go like the snack bar and get a dog? I mean, how's that?
I wish, but no, I ended up driving up around behind the green of the hole that we were on 12.
So are you like behind bushes? You're like behind bushes where you can't see?
No, I'm just sitting in the golf cart watching. I'm talking to the head pro who's out there watching all the other teams, and I watch some of the other kids play. But no, so he bogeys 12. And I'm like, "Oh God, there goes that." Like now we're tied for the lead. Yeah. And so I can't panic, or he's gonna panic. And so he bogeys, and then I let him stew and get mad. And we go to 13, which is a par 3. It's 230-yard par 3. And he gets up there, and I'm just like, "All right, what are you gonna hit here?" He's like, "I'm gonna hit a 5-iron." So all right, he ends up bogeying that hole. So now I'm like, I just can't talk to him right now. I gotta. So we get down to 14, so 410-yard par 4. I look at him and I said, "I want you to take every bit of anger that you have, build it into this drive, and I just want you to hit the living crap out of it." All right. So he bombs a drive, and I just leave him alone. And I walk ahead of him. I gave his mom my golf carts because I wanted to walk with him. So I walk ahead of him, and I was like, "I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let him speak first." So mind you, this is the 6th day of golf. He's mentally exhausted. He's physically exhausted. So he gets up there to me and he goes, "Coach, I'm not going to get mad anymore." And I was like,
"You're probably too tired to get mad."
Well, I said, "Well, that's good because I'm tired of dealing with it." And he goes, "My mind can't take it anymore." And so he almost birdies 14. 15, he had some bad luck, and he ended up making a heck of a bogey there. But meanwhile, I'm watching the scores, and I'm seeing that, Addison, who's in the group in front of us, he's having a little trouble. The other kids are having trouble. So every time Evan stumbles, everybody else stumbles. And so it was just a matter of how can I keep him from just making the big mistake and managing him to get him in. And so when he played 16, great shot in there, 2-putt par. 17, I knew we could birdie. Well, I watched as Addison hit his tee-ball, and I watched him bogey the hole. So I told Evan, I said, "Hey, look, you got a 1-shot lead with 2 holes left. All we got to do is par out." And he's like, "All right, I can do that." Hits a great shot, on 17, puts it up there, and makes a heck of a par. 18 was his nemesis. Worst hole on the golf course.
I mean, the whole tournament.
The whole tournament. I mean, he doubled it.
What's 18 again?
18 is a par 3, so 230 yards uphill. Wind's in your face. It's a beast. You can't stop, and the greens are like hitting on this table. You can't stop the ball on the green. So for him, the day before he double bogeyed, and that's what put him in the tie for first. Right. Well, now he's got a 1-shot lead. He bogeys 18, and now we got to go into a playoff. He wasn't mad. He missed the putt for par. He was mad that he had to play more golf. He came on.
Wait. Now, how far was that par putt?
About 10 feet.
Okay.
10 feet. He had to chop it out of the rough to get it on the green, and it rolled out past the hole. So very makeable. Just he was exhausted.
That's 6 days of golf. That's more than a pro tournament, right? I mean, what's a pro tournament? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days?
Well, it's 4 days of competition, and that's what we played. We played 4 days of competition, but we had 2 practice rounds because we played 2 different courses.
Okay.
You know, in the first 2 rounds, being that we had so many teams, half the field played Midvale, the other half played Midvale, and then they switched. And so then when they made the cut, we played Midvale the last 2 days.
Well, so they got a lot of golf business up there in this place.
Oh.
Now, what's the closest the NCAA Division III championship's been held to? Has it ever been held in Virginia?
Not to my knowledge, not that I can remember. Last 2 years, it's been in Grandover, at Grandover Resort in Greensboro. Next year, it's at Howie in the Hills down in Florida.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So
was it cold up there?
Where you were? The first 2 days in the practice round, it was 55 and a little windy, but the tournament, 75, sunny. It was great.
Well, Bryan, we're extremely. I mean, I gotta say it honestly. I'm a front runner. I never really believed in any of this was going to come true.
We shocked a lot of people.
And I'm sure Joanne's sitting there going, I didn't think this was going to happen. And she's probably talking to President Miller now. Yeah, we had this. This has been part of our plan. We've exceeded it a little bit faster. I mean, no, I had you written down for never. I had never a national championship. Never. And Coach of the Year honors.
Coach of the Year for the conference. Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you. It's all the kids though. They're the ones that do it. If they don't play well, I don't look good.
If you didn't recruit them, then they couldn't play well.
Okay,
so without the coach, Hearn National Championship, Virginia Wesleyan College, here on the Sports Philosophy Show.